Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm with the czar of the playbook, Emery Hunt, and I'm Tyler Merkovich, bringing you Week 2 coverage of the NFL season. NFC West matchup against two teams that started off with wins against other opponents in the division. Seattle at San Fran. Singletary, a big win in Arizona, taking out the NFC champions. How can Seattle win this game here in a critical NFC West matchup?
Keys to victory for Seattle: they have to play defense like they played against the Rams. I know this is a different offense, but the same components. San Francisco wants to run the ball at them, play action, and complete the passes to the tight end and those big wide receivers they have on the outside. Continue to play Seattle Seahawks defense, fly around the ball. I like what I see at this Jim Moore defense. Also, but the one thing they have to improve, they have to get more production out the running game. Julius Jones, Edgerrin James, his first game his second game with the new team in Seattle. They have to generate more production out that running attack. Also, they have to get after Sean Hill. You have to get after him. You have to force him to make those throws he has to prove to these guys that he can beat you with his arm. But first and foremost, when you play in San Francisco, you eliminate Frank Gore, you take away 65% of that offense.
Every time Seattle passes into San Fran territory, they need to work for field goals. They need to get touchdowns, a couple touchdowns here in the red zone. They need to execute here. San Francisco's defense is good, so chip away with field goals, get some touchdowns. Hasselbeck loved John Carlson, over 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. Hushmanzada and Burleson are going to open it up, use Julius Jones, Edgerrin James. That running game should be interesting. San Fran, though, they love to use Frank Gore. Don't ask a lot of Sean Hill. Offensive line is actually improving, but they are a defensive team led by the linebacker who's one of the best, probably the best, Patrick Willis. They got a veteran, Takeo Spikes. Nate Clements mans their secondary. He's a shutdown corner. He played well against Fitzgerald and Bolden against Zona. What are the keys to victory for the Niners?
Keys to victory for San Francisco: make Seattle one-dimensional, make them throw the ball, so that way you can get after that quarterback. One thing I know San Francisco is going to do, they're going to match up Patrick Willis against Julius Jones all day. He's athletic enough to where he can cover out in space as well, too. So I think San Francisco is going to do a good job of eliminating that run. They're going to make Seattle throw the ball 30, 35 times a game, which means they're going to get a lot of hits on Matt Hasselbeck because they can get to the quarterback. You saw what they did last week against Arizona. They frustrated Kurt Warner, a lot of errant throws. Expect the same this week at home. Also, when you look at what San Francisco wants to do, they have a matchup. They match up well against Seattle, offensive line versus defensive line. I think that's going to be a good key matchup to watch. I love watching the trenches. How that offensive line holds up against that defense. They want to blitz. A Jim Moore defense will come at you from different angles at every point of the game. Aggressive style defense. His secondary is a ball hawking secondary, and they love to get after those wide receivers, get in their face, a lot of man coverage. So this is going to be a good matchup. They have to put more onus on Sean Hill. They're going to have to play 50-50 because you can't allow this team just to line up there man-to-man and guard your wide receivers just like that.
Two improved teams, two good defenses, but who needs Michael Crabtree when you got the Reverend Isaac Bruce? Only the second player to get 15,000 yards plus. The first one was another Niner, some guy named Rice.
I like Isaac Bruce. I think he's a future Hall of Famer. He's been consistent throughout his career. With that said, they're going to have to get more production out that passing game in order to beat Seattle. However, I think San Francisco has the edge on defense. They can stop the run. The question is, can Seattle stop the run? I'm picking San Francisco.
This is going to be a good game. Max Unger is stepping in for Spencer, who's out with an injury. Walter Jones is out too. I think that might be the factor. San Fran's slightly better on defense right now. Frisco by a field goal. For more football coverage of the NFL, visit footballgameplan.com/NFL.